So with the new Skaven Tide box coming out, I've decided to finally paint up this old, well, the current plastic grey Seer. This is the one you can get individually in a blister pack. It's not the one from the current Screaming Bell. Yeah, it doesn't have a base currently because I don't know what size base the new one's going to come on, so I haven't decided to base it yet. But we're going to paint this up and hopefully have it ready for launch day. So we'll see how that goes. So we're going to start painting the robes, and we're going to take some graphite from AK. Now, if you don't have this, Codex Grey or Dawnstone will do the job. I don't have either of them, so graphite is a very similar colour. A bit of that on your palette. Nothing fancy with this bit. I'm just going to paint he's got kind of two distinct cloaks, one on the lower half and including the sleeves, and then one on the top half including the hood, and that comes down here as well. So I'm going to paint the lower one with graphite. So I have glued him to a base temporarily with a little touch of super glue. Should be easy enough to take off once I've finished, just to make it a bit easier to handle. Once you've got a nice even coat of the graphite, Codex or Dawnstone down on your cloak, we're going to take some Administratum Grey and we're going to layer over the top of that, keeping out of the darkest recesses. Highlight it up. Start on the back. So quite a lot of folds on that. So I'm going to start here and highlight that crease and that top bit there, and leave the bit in between to get that shadow. So now we've gone around with the Administratum Grey, we're going to go around the highest points with Grey Seer. I'm going to highlight the sharpest edges, the highest points. You don't need a lot of this, just enough to pick out the sharpest points, the highest points in your folds, scratches, tears, anything like that. So now we've gone over with the Grey Seer, over all the grey cloth. We're going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey and we are going to wash the whole of that area that we just painted. So I'm going to thin this down a little bit. Just going to reapply over the top of these roads that we've just painted. Don't let this pool anywhere. Keep it in the recesses, but don't let it pool so it's all in one spot. Whilst the Gryph-Charger Grey is drying, we're going to take some Darkoath Flesh and we're going to apply that to the flesh parts. So we're looking at the hands, the claws, and the facial features and the ears. The feet as well. I'm not going to do the feet just yet because it's still wet around this part of the robe. So we'll start with the face. Apologies for the noise, it's starting to rain quite heavy. Don't be too neat with this, go over the fur a little bit if you need to, because we can always tidy that back up when we do the fur. If you're not sure where fur begins and skin ends, go over it like that and can't go too far wrong. So now that the Basilicanum, not the Basilicanum Grey, the Gryph-Charger Grey has dried on the robes, we're going to go over it again and do the same again, just to build that colour up a bit more. Thin it down a bit. Once that has dried and you're happy with the coverage, we're going to take some Stormfiend, give it a good shake. It seems to have sedimented quite a lot on this one, so give it a good shake, and we're going to apply it to that top robe. Whilst the Stormfiend is drying, we're going to take some Flayed One Flesh and we're going to high it light up the skin. Start with the hands, knuckles. So now that's done, I have gone around with the Grey Seer again and retouched up some of the base coats. So like on the fur here, I've done halfway up the cheek, and same on this side as well. And being careful not to get it on any other places. Now while that's drying, I'm going to take some Runelord Brass and I'm going to block in our brass colours. So the bells, the top of the staff here, and any other little trinkets that I think need to be brass coloured. Start with the bell. So this bell isn't part of the original kit. Can't actually remember what is on the original kit, but the tip of the tail snapped off for mine, so I rummaged through my bits box and found a I don't even know what it was from really. It was just a bit that looked like a hook with a bell on it, and I've repurposed that as the tip of the tail. Can we focus? There we go. I think it works quite well. So be very careful not to get it on the bits that we've done on the rat up top here. This is mainly the flesh of the tail and the feet. So now we've done that, we're going to take some Nuln Oil and we're going to go over the fur with this. Being nice and neat to keep it just on the fur. If you go on bits that you haven't painted yet, it's not a problem, we can always touch them up again. You want to keep that off the bits that we have painted. Whilst that is drying, I've already gone over the feet and tail with Darkoath Flesh. I'm going to highlight up the feet with Flayed One Flesh again, same as we've done for the rest of the skin. So any wooden parts, we are going to go with Gore-Grunta Fur, and for this one we are going to just go over the staff, or the wooden part of the staff anyway. Again, being very careful not to get it on anything else. We're going to take some skeleton horde and we're going to go over any bone parts, any nails, any claws, things like that. At this point as well, you may want to go back over some of the claws and put them back to the Grey Seer base coat. Also, while I've got the skeleton horde, I'm going to get any bits of parchment that are dotted around the model. This little scroll. So now that's dry, we're going to take some Leadbelcher and we're going to go over any of the bits that we want in silver. So on this one we've got a dagger coming out the back here, tucked on his waistband. Again, being very careful to get it, not to get it on anything you've already painted. Trying at this point as well to save touch-ups to not get it on anything that we haven't painted either. Couple of angles and things. Just going to change my brush just for a better point around here. Make less mistakes. Whilst that is drying, I'm going to take some Ratling Grime. I'm going to go over this little rat at the top here. Careful not to get it on the flesh areas that we've already painted. If you do go over a little bit, it's not the end of the world. We'll let that dry, and we'll take some Mantis Warrior Green. Now this is going to go over any chunks of warpstone that you've got, including that orb that's in his hands. So I'm going to start with that orb. Just nice and easy like that. This chunk up here. Chunk in his eye. Also put this chunk up here. We'll take some Snakebite Leather and we're going to get all the leather pouches, we're going to get the ropes, any belts, anything like that that you have on the model. So we can take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to shade over them parts that we've done. So that's going to be the brass, the silver, the leather pouches and bits like that that we've just painted up. Start over here with the metal. Next we're going to take some Mephiston Red and we are carefully going to paint the eye. You don't need a tiny brush for this, you just need one with a good point. Feeling really brave and get this little rat's eye. take some Evil Sunz Scarlet, and we're going to dot that eye. Don't worry about the one on the little rat, but our Grey Seer is the one we want. Something like that. If you're feeling really up to it, take some Fire Dragon Bright and do the same again, but even smaller. So any other wrapping, bandages, things like that you have left, we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to go over the top of them with that. So with this we've got the wrapping at the top of the staff here, but we've also got the handle on the knife here. Also, while we've got this, we can very carefully get the tips of the horns to about halfway. Now that our Agrax Earthshade is dried on the metal, we're going to take some Leadbelcher and we're just going to highlight back up the silver parts a little bit. Take a small brush for this, and we're going to start with a blade. Rather than doing the whole thing, we are just going to do the sharpest points. So we get scratch there, this edge, scratch there. Then we're going to take some Runelord Brass and we're just going to re-highlight back up our brass areas. I'm not going to go crazy with this, just a little bit. Get rid of some of them really dark shadows around like bell there. It's where it pulled a little bit too much. Done that. I'm going to take some Canoptek Alloy and I'm just going to highlight the brass bits up a little bit further. Very edges of this. So I'm just going to get focus. There we go. Just going to get this bit. Get some Grey Seer on that rock, and then we can go over that with some Basilicanum Grey. Nice base coat back like here. Being very careful not to get anything else. Just noticed I want some silver dots on his staff. We've got a couple of studs, so I'm just going to take some Leadbelcher again. On brush and just dot down little bits. Take some Basilicanum Grey, and we're just going to get that rock, or however you are painting your bases. For this, I'm just going to do it nice and easy. Basilicanum Grey should be different enough to do the surrounding areas. It's not quite dry. And there we go. I can call that done. So here we have our completed Grey Seer. Pretty pleased with how this one's come out, just in time for Skaven Tide as well. This can obviously be transferred across to any Grey Seer that you have in your collection, using the same techniques and the same colours and whatnot, or you can change it up for whatever colours you want in your clan. Yeah, I've been putting this one off for a long time. I'm not really sure why, but I'm pleased that it's done now. Really pleased with how it's come out. All I need to do is decide on how I'm basing it and get it based up. I'm not sure how I'm going to do any of the Skaven in the Skaven Tide box, to be honest. So this might be a good test model for the basing. Right, hope you enjoyed this one. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.